So we got them all set. They look good. Garrett's been working his ass off, and so what we decided to do is just go ahead and hang this back wall, right? Because these bolts have been poured in place and have been here for over a month, so we know we're good. We can crank on them if we need to. So we have our 5 end wall columns up here. We haven't done that corner one yet just because we didn't find it. And we also got one of the mainframe rafters or mainframe columns up. Bay 2, 3, and 4 on this right end wall. The plans show that we're using Girt 8 in Bay, well, I guess Bay 2, 3, and Bay 4. So we brought our Girts over, we checked them. Everything's labeled with the number. The top has a bundle number, so I know that there's 11 G8s in here. There's also 11 in this bundle. And on the Girts, you can also see that it's labeled here. We ran these kind of on the side without doing all the paperwork, but normally you get a real nice printed tag there. But everything's labeled and numbered so it corresponds with the plans. This is a flush end wall. And what we're talking about here is instead of the Girts running on the outside of the column, like they will on the sidewalls, like they will on the roof, and we'll show you that later, they actually just bolt right here. So we'll set these up, outside flange, toes down, and we're just gonna run up and get these set in place. We're not gonna worry about tightening them or torquing them or anything like that. We're just gonna get them hand tight where everything will slip around. As far as the fastening goes, when we're talking structural, holes do not get washers. However, slots do get washers. So when this Girt sits up here, Girt is on top, and the Girt's the same thing as a purlin. The Girt will actually get a washer, right? Because it's a slotted hole, so the hole's a little bit oversized. We supply enough washers to go on both sides. So a washer up, you know, on that, and then there'll be a washer underneath the nut. There's no good reason for us to supply all those, but some customers are like me and they want them, so we do that. I think it looks better, it makes me feel better. Aaron here, trick he has, and something my brother does, he's a professional erector too, is they'll pre-assemble these things so they can just pull it out of their bags. I never like doing that because then I have to fiddle with it, and it's easier for me just to have my washers, my nuts, and my bolts in a bag. The only thing we're going to be using is Spud wrenches, just if we need to twist the hole, because these columns aren't set in place. You can see they're all kind of weeby wobbly and stuff like that. So we might need to, you know, move them around a little bit. That's all we're going to do right now. Set them in place temporarily, or not temporarily, but loosely, just to give the steel a little bit more structure. We're not worried about wind blowing these things over in the middle of the night. These are big anchor bolts, and there's just not enough surface area on the column. I mean, I doubt a hurricane would even make it move. So here we go. So our plan is to get the G8s up. We got some G6s that we got to put in down there because they're a little bit shorter, and then we'll get the Girts going to that end wall or the sidewall column too. We got all of our bolts set. All of the epoxy is in there curing. It's actually stiffening up a little bit. So a good day. We got up here about 10 o'clock. We'll be starting tomorrow, you know, 7:30, 8, something like that. And so unloading the truck, that was a big truck. This is not that big of a building, but because of the loads and the number of pieces, it's really heavy, almost 40,000 pounds. So it took us a couple hours to unload it. And we got right to work, and we were able to get this end wall, pretty much the columns on the end wall framed or stood up. We got one bay of Girts on, just while we were wrapping up for the end of the day. But you know, this was a pretty good day, and I would think it's about beer time. So thank you. All right, I'll see you guys in the morning.